Have you ever wanted to play The Sims, but felt uninspired to even get started? One of the most fun and rewarding challenges a simmer can experience is a legacy challenge. Originally created by Pinstar and inspired by the poverty-based storyline of Brandy Broke in The Sims 2, what started as a casual blog post has since exploded into one of the most popular ways to play The Sims all around the world. But there are so many rules and modifications, how do we even know where to begin? What's up guys, Rakowski here, and today we're going through step by step how to play a legacy challenge in The Sims 3 using the official rules. Before we get started, if you like fresh content on retro Sims games, don't forget to like this video and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Also, please let me know in the comments down below what your experiences have been with the legacy challenge. Don't worry, if you usually get burned out from this type of gameplay, this video hopes to alleviate some of the apprehension and confusion in a detailed but concise manner. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. I want to stress that although it's one of the most popular ways to play The Sims, it was originally created by Pinstar, and all credit to the information sourced for the official rules goes to him. We explore rules and playstyles that expand on the original challenge, but none of it would be possible without the original concept. It's also important to understand all of the terminology specific to this challenge, as these terms will be used throughout the video, as well as on any supplementary research you may wish to explore on your own. Here's a list from the official Legacy Challenge blog. You can pause the video now if any of these words seem unfamiliar to you. To get started, you should create a new save file. The first decision you need to make is which world you want to play the challenge in. Each neighborhood has its own perks, lore, and aesthetic. Since this challenge will last for quite some time, it's best to pick something that is inspiring. You could use your all-time favorite world, or even one that you haven't played in yet, but you've always wanted to. In either case, choose carefully, as the classic rules stipulate that the founder and all heirs must always live on the original home lot. As a side note, you can use an existing save file. However, the legacy founder must become the active household immediately and remain as such throughout the challenge. Once your selected world has loaded, enter Create a Sim to make your legacy founder and decide on a name. The surname is particularly important, since you'll likely see it for the entire duration of the challenge, so pick something you like. There are a few ground rules for creating this founding sim, but you have a lot of freedom to begin your story any way you'd like. Typically, simmers choose a young adult female sim, but this is not an actual rule of the challenge. Your sim can be male or female, but must be of an age where they can have children. Specifically, that means you could technically make an elder male, but a female must always be a young adult or an adult. As for appearance, you have free range to make your sim look any way you'd like. That includes hair, eyes, clothes, accessories. This step is particularly fun if you use a lot of custom content in your game, which is, for the most part, permitted in the challenge. You may also select any traits you wish, in addition to their favorite food, music, and color. It's popular for players to select classics like family-oriented, good, natural cook, but keep in mind that this sim will likely not just be a stay-at-home parent. Also, the traits in The Sims 3 are so detailed that picking a couple negative ones can really spice up their personality, which can help avoid boredom and burnout as well. You may not create any other sims besides the founder, so once you're satisfied with what you've made, it's time to move on. The summary of the next step is that you move your founder onto a giant empty lot with only a few simoleons remaining in their household funds, but there are a few specifics to cover. Firstly, if you selected either Sunset Valley or Riverview for your legacy challenge, then you must specifically move into 15 Summerhill Court or 345 River Blossom Hills, respectively. You'll notice that your founder will only have 1,800 simoleons remaining. Actually, they'll only have 1,300 if you don't have any expansion packs installed. If you select any other world, either locate or plop down the largest lot you can and move into it. The main thing to keep in mind is that the lot must be completely empty. Once moved in, you can use the family funds sheet to bring your household funds down to 1,800 if they aren't there already. Once you're poor and homeless, it's time for the challenge to officially begin. For the most part, the legacy challenge is in your hands at this point. Although there are no official rules on what direction to take your legacy, here are a few ideas. Your Sim's needs begin depleting as soon as you start playing, so sort out where you're gonna sleep, eat, and relieve your bladder. You won't be able to afford all the necessities right away, but crashing a barbecue at the park and then napping on a bench are great substitutes for fridges and beds. There is a wide selection of opportunities for making money in The Sims 3, so start thinking about getting your founder a job or learning a skill to generate some much-needed income. Finally, as you start playing, keep an eye out for townies that you may wish to befriend or even marry. It seems like a long ways away now, but it's imperative that you generate a suitable heir for the next generation. As this is a Sims challenge, you are free to play in any way you wish, but the official Legacy Challenge blog does specify several objective rules to follow. For the most part, these are to prevent you from erasing any elements of challenge from the experience, but here they are regardless. You may not fill needs, increase funds, or adjust relationship values at any point during the challenge. Unless you need to fix a glitch or a bug, no cheats are allowed at all. We already mentioned how custom content was permitted when creating your sim, but if you have reasonably priced build CC installed, you can use that as well. As an example, if you have a custom fridge that you enjoy using and it's priced similarly to other fridges in the game, then you can use it. Story progression must be enabled at all times. Aging must remain turned on throughout the challenge as well, and the lifespan should be set to normal. Dead Sims may not be resurrected, no Sim may consume ambrosia or life fruit to extend their lifespan, and no Sim may use a death flower to avoid their fate. You can only age up Sims using the birthday cake once the notification appears in your feed that it's their birthday, no earlier. However, you may choose to wait for the game to age them up automatically if you wish. In this game save, you must always keep the Legacy Founders family as the active household. You can still, of course, play at your leisure in other save files if you need a break from the challenge. You may purchase lifetime rewards as your sim earns lifetime happiness points. However, a few are off limits. Inheritance, age freeze, Dusty Old Lamp, and Immortal may not be selected by anyone in the family, as they are essentially earned cheats. You can obtain the Moodlet Manager and zap your enemies, but you cannot use it on any family Sims. Clone Voucher is also allowed, but it cannot be used to accumulate points for the challenge. Don't worry, we'll be explaining points in the next section of this video. You can use the social interactions in-game, such as marriage or move-in, to expand your household, but these cannot be used on Sims you've created yourself or downloaded from the exchange. You may only marry and move in townies that come with the world or are generated automatically. Also, you cannot use the Merge Households function in Edit World. All living arrangements must be sorted out in-game. If you wish to have occults in your legacy lineage, you may do so. However, it's important to note that some can live for quite some time, so they can stick around for several generations. You can also cure some occult Sims or move them out when starting new generations. Just make sure you're familiar with supernatural Sims and their genetics before mixing them in. In order to score a legacy challenge, there is a detailed point system that rewards a player's diligence and dedication. These are generally earned by playing through a loving, successful, and happy family, but there are some specific milestones to keep in mind. Since these are arguably the most important and rigorous of the rules so far, I've cited the point system directly from the official Legacy Challenge blog written by Pinstar and his wife Mystic. This video has been merely a summarized tutorial of the challenge, so if you'd like further information or details on anything you've seen here, this website is a great place to begin. You can earn points for your family in the following ways. Generation. You get 1 legacy point for your founder, and 1 point for every generation born until the 10th. You earn each point at the birth of the first child in each generation. Further births in that generation do not generate more points. Thus, you can only earn a maximum of 10 total generation points by completing the challenge and birthing the 10th generation. Lifetime wants. You gain 1 point for every unique lifetime want fulfilled by a family member. The sim in question must be living in the legacy house and be part of the family tree to earn the point. Once a specific lifetime wish has been fulfilled by a sim, further sims fulfilling that wish will not earn you a legacy point for doing so. There are 32 unique lifetime wishes in the game, meaning you could earn a maximum of 32 points in this category. Portraits. 1 point for creating a portrait of a family member and keeping it on display after their death. Like above, the sim must be part of the family tree and living in the legacy house to qualify for this point. You earn this point after the portrait is created. You do not have to wait for the sim in the portrait to actually die. Portraits are still worth their points even if the family member pictured is moved out of the house later on. The skill of the artist doing the portrait does not matter. As long as it features the sim in question, it counts. Portraits may be of any size or style. Keep in mind that a sim must have a painting skill of at least 5 to get the option of painting a still life. Sims must be of young adult or older and living on the legacy lot at the time of painting to count for a portrait point. Legacy house. Earn 1 point for every 100,000 simoleons in net worth the house is worth. To get the net worth, combine the furnished value of the house with the family's cash on hand, round up. This category can have a maximum of 20 points earned, meaning a net worth of 2 million simoleons. Aspiration rewards. If a sim is able to earn 100,000 points worth of aspiration rewards, they earn your family 1 legacy point. You are free to spend the aspiration points as you gain them. It's your lifetime total, not your current total, that matters for this point. Like the other sim-based points, this may only be earned by family members. You may earn an additional point in this category from a sim if they somehow earn 200,000 points in their lifetime. You cannot use any ghost family members to accumulate points for the challenge, but you can keep their graves around if you wish. Alternatively, most players just move them into a cemetery, which is also a viable option. It's important to note, however, that if your founder or current heir dies before satisfying the bloodline requirement to continue on the legacy, then your challenge ends immediately. As an example, if your Generation 1 founder is an elder a few days away from death, and the Generation 2 heir has no eligible siblings to carry on the bloodline, then it's game over for you if that heir dies, so it's always good to have a backup on standby. Generally speaking, you may produce new heirs through either birthing or adopting sims while playing the game. This includes alien-induced pregnancies. You are also allowed to use mods for same-sex couples to have a baby if you wish, or even engineer a baby if you have the Into the Future expansion pack installed. This means that there are nearly no limits on your sim's sexuality, family structure, or lifestyle. One thing to note is that the heir must be born as part of the active household lot. That means that if the heir is male and impregnates a female, the mother must be living on the legacy lot with the legacy family and give birth while part of that household. If she never moves in and gives birth on her own, that child is ineligible to become heir at any point. The following is a list of rules that either specify bloodline requirements or spice up the theme of your legacy challenge. For a thorough list on different possibilities, please visit the Sims wiki link in the description below, but here are a few noteworthy options. Genetic trait. You may choose a specific trait you wish to carry on throughout your bloodline. Traditionally, this was invented for the family-oriented trait, but you can technically apply it for any trait you wish. As your sim has children, you must select this inherited trait as soon as possible, and then continue to randomize the rest as previously explained. Adoptacy. All heirs must be adopted children, or take it to the extreme, where giving birth isn't allowed in the household at all. Matriarchy or patriarchy. Only females and males, respectively, are eligible to become heir. Rainbow legacy. Have each generation represent a different color, having it reflect in their hair, eyes, clothing, wallpaper, even personality. This one is super fun and can be applied in addition to other variations of the challenge. Something that I've done before is the Rain Bros, where I do a patriarchy and each generation is a different color of the rainbow. Not So Berry challenge. You've probably heard of this one, but it deserves a video all on its own, to be honest. Essentially, it's an ultra-structured rainbow legacy designed to have you play the game in ways that you never have before. It was originally created by Little Simsy, and there are versions specific for both The Sims 3 and The Sims 4. If it's something you're interested in, I've linked those official rules in the description below as well. Uglacy. Take this last one with a grain of salt. It's probably a joke because all Sims in The Sims 3 end up with that dreaded potato face anyway, but plan your generation to make the ugliest Sims possible, or better yet, have lots of kids and make the ugliest one the heir. This can be great to combine with supernaturals if that's your gameplay style, since they can make for some interesting concoctions. That concludes this video tutorial for playing The Sims 3 Legacy Challenge. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you're still here and haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. And let me know what you think of the rules and playstyles in the comments down below, or if there's anything else you do to have fun with The Sims. See you in the next one. Bomb.